on the flat, and the Widowmaker. Well, yeah, I look back at its form line back on March 2001 and got within 3.5 lengths. I think in progressive company, if it could reproduce that from the Brown team, should handle a heavy track, and it's 9:10 295. But Jocular, it's going to give them everything to chase here. Megan Lefting aboard 3:30 150. Faiross 6:40 205. Bit of support for Bit of a Myth. Craig Thornton, I think that's probably the key there. 5:70 180, and on the river 7:05 270. The Widowmaker 9:30 295. Yeah, a couple of interesting things about today's races. Only the nine races, and no Lance O'Sullivan. So L.A. O'Sullivan sitting back at home, perhaps in Matamata over in Tauranga by the beach, enjoying it all and relaxing. Will not be putting any more wins in the bin, so to speak. Yes, the races tomorrow, Rangatiki Hunt, abandoned through a lack of numbers given the heavy track conditions. But I understand too on Saturday, though, Opanaki 11 races. So they're all coming together on Saturday. There is a Bit of a Myth, one of 4, as Aidan Rodley mentioned, of the Brown runners. And again, just the scuddy showers, just misty rain rolling in. Probably going to help because we've had pretty dry conditions up here for and it may have made this track pretty holding, but well, a little bit of rain about could loosen it up as we just wait for the maiden ever ready to go forward with Cara Waters. Well, just the 2 to load. Let's join the call on the first, LB Gain.
Thanks very much, Steve. They're just about set to go. We're just forward, the race favourite. Faiross down on 1. This is the first in the program. The Auckland Explorer Bus Company jumpers flat. Starter Tony McGovern eyes his field, and they're off. And a good start to it was on the river, one of the first to break from on the outside, Jocular, and going with them Westport, and deep out the Real Man with the other grey My Romeo on its inside, and then trapped a little wide early. Bit of a Myth, Craig Thornton looking to get cover soon after. Bob Dobolino began pretty well too and is going to lead the midday settle. The Widowmaker's dropping out last. Faiross after a good beginning drifted out to second last with On the River, the grey on the rail. As they run past the judge, Bob Dobolino now takes a length and a half advantage over Ever Ready, slotted to the trail. Jocular in the green on the outside, poised third. They're followed by Bit of a Myth, 3 out from the Real Man, and My Romeo making ground on the inside. 2.5 to Westport. They're followed by on the outside as they work round now, Faiross then On the River, and 5 to 6 lengths to the tail ender, who's the Widowmaker. At the 1500 metres zone, the first to jumpers flat, and Bob Dobolino led a neck to the race favourite Jocular. 2.5 to Ever Ready. On the rail as My Romeo, followed Bit of a Myth, then the Real Man. Westport just been urged through on the inside, followed by Faiross On the River, and 4 lengths away the Widowmaker. Down they work now towards the 1200 metres. There's about 10 or 11 over the field, and Jocular on the outside and Bob Dobolino the inner. This pair they match strides. 2.5 to My Romeo on the inside of Ever Ready. A length and a half away Westport on its outside stablemate Bit of a Myth, and 3 out then to Faiross. They're followed down on the inside then the Real Man. On the River second last, and the Widowmaker still 3 lengths from them. Down the far side, 10 still over the field. Jocular the race favourite on the outside, and Nostril Bob Dobolino. They're about to move off the back, 800 metres to go. They're followed My Romeo on the steel. There's Ever Ready moving up and around them. They pack up. They're followed Westport, Bit of a Myth, and out wider Faiross commenced to run. On the River the Real Man, and now the Widowmaker's getting into the action. Only 5 lengths over the field at the 600 metres. Jocular, Bob Dobolino, and down on the inside Westport. They're followed On the River. Right there too is Faiross, who's charging into it. They're followed in behind them as they come to the turn. Bit of a Myth, round they come. Bob Dobolino, Jocular, and Faiross with the Widowmaker coming into it. Then a gap back. Then we've got On the River. Faiross, the top weights, hit the front from Bob Dobolino. The favourite Jocular's only battling there. Followed the Widowmaker down on the inside Westport, but Faiross in front now from Bob Dobolino, who's trying to kick back. Faiross, though, racing rather wide, is about 3 lengths clear now from the Widowmaker. Bob Dobolino, Westport, and On the River. Faiross kept going. It's running about a bit, but Faiross, the top weight's too strong. Beat Bob Dobolino. Westport third, followed by the Widowmaker On the River. A gap to the favourite Jocular. The Real Man, Bit of a Myth, the last pair Ever Ready the outside, and My Romeo on the inside. Well, Faiross has got the money, number 1, in the hands of Shoji Sakai. Gee, it raced fairly wide down the straight most of the way, Steve, but it's got the money and it looks as though it's going to be pretty trying conditions here, but Faiross will get the money. Good effort too from Bob Dobolino, more renowned as a jumper of course, and Westport number 10, who was at reasonably good money to hold on for third ahead of the Widowmaker, who was a long way out of its ground early, but there's Faiross right down the outskirts of the track to get it from Bob Dobolino and Westport. And here's the judge John Craig coming through with his call now.
1-4-10-9-7-6. Just repeating those numbers. 1-4-10-9-7-6, and the winner's time 2:34.94.
Number 1, Faiross, Chestnut Gelding 9, Faiross Dan Miss Harbour, owned and trained by Ann and Ken Brown of Cambridge, Shoji, Sakai. Number 4, Bob Dobolino, Bay Gelding 11, Random Chance, Noble Dream, Grant Shaw, the owner trainer from Waiuku, Ben Ropiha. And number 10, Westport, Bay Gelding 8, Westminster, Blue Haste, Ann and Ken Brown, the owners, and the trainers, Stephen Douglas.
The completed result 1-4-10-9-7-6. The margins 4 lengths, 3/4 of a length, a head, a nose, 9 3/4 lengths, and the winning time 2:34.94.
All confirmed from Judge John Craig. Number 1, Faiross at 670 and 210, 670, 210. 4, Bob Dobolino at 355, 355 and 10 Westport at 325, 325. 1, 4, Quinella, 4150, 4150. 1, 4, 10 Trifecta, 1039.65, 1039.65.